few weeks ago, Glossier is at Sephora, which I think is a huge deal for Glossier because it makes them so much more accessible. I feel like before they were just harder to get a hold of, and I actually, other than their mascara, have never tried Glossier before. So Glossier coming to Sephora was that final push that I needed. Now, funny enough, while it is at Sephora, it's actually at display at my local Sephora. There is a Glossier store in Miami. If you're visiting Miami, you definitely need to check it out. It's at the Design District. It's beautiful. So I was like, definitely want to check out Glossier, but I might as well just go to their store so that I can see all of the colors. And I also got to talk with one of their employees, of course, who shared the best way to use the product. So overall, it was a better experience for me to go to the store. I picked up a bunch of things. There's one thing missing that I meant to pick up. It's the liquid bronzer. I have to check my receipt because, well, they didn't email me the receipt. That's the problem. But I need to see if they forgot to put it in the bag or not. But I don't have it. But that's okay. I have a bunch of other stuff. The way they do it at the Glossier store is you have to talk to one of their employees who kind of like puts an order in for you, and then they bag it up in the back and bring it to you in this adorable bag. But I think they forgot one of my items, which is fine because that poor girl, I like went in and bought a bunch of stuff, so it was a lot. But I really wanted to just try a full face of Glossier products to tell you if they were worth it or not. I feel like I got a lot of stuff for like $230. Obviously not cheap, but for the amount that I got, it's a lot compared to a regular Sephora trip, you know, where you get 3 items and somehow manage to spend $500. I got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like almost 10 items for $200 something. So I feel like that's not bad. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. This is a first impression, so I will update you guys as I use these products more. But I had to try this. This was on my must-have list. This is the Futuredew Oil Serum Hybrid. This is a great mixture between skincare and primer, so I had to get it. The packaging, so good. Let me show you. Oh, it's so gorgeous. So it says to apply 2 pumps all over your face as the last step in your skin routine. So let's do that. Start off with this. This is what it looks like. And the employee there that I was talking to said she loves this. It gives the skin the most beautiful hydration and glow. And I've just seen a lot of people talk about this product in general. It has a very subtle scent to it. And this is how it makes my skin look. It's not as hydrating as I was hoping it would be, but it does leave a very subtle glow that looks really, really natural. It penetrates into the skin very, very nice. So, okay, I can definitely see this being a great base before makeup because it's giving a little bit of glow, nothing too obnoxious, and it is kind of soaking into the skin nicely. So we'll continue to use that, but I like that. With Glossier, they're kind of like a no makeup brand, so we're definitely going to be low on the coverage today. Though I did pick up this Perfecting Skin Tint, which I have been told is tinted water pretty much. So my expectations for this aren't too high, but I wanted to do the whole get up, the full face, so I picked this up anyways. Typically, this is not a product that I would prefer. Your girl likes coverage. I picked up the shade G10, which I think is a little light for me, but it's so sheer, it's fine. So I'm just going to put this on my face. I think I'm just going to use my fingers to get the most out of the coverage. It's very, very watery. Okay, we'll do this. I'm going to use my clean fingers. This is especially great, I'm thinking, for teenage girls. So if you guys have a daughter that wants to get into makeup, this is a great product for her to start with. Their target audience is definitely a younger set, so I think that this is great. But yeah, I mean, it is slightly tinted water on my skin. This did not give me any coverage whatsoever. I don't even know that it made my skin look better. I would say for me, this is kind of a waste of money. I'm gonna build it up on this side to see if that makes a difference compared to the other side, because I really can't tell if it did anything. And I'm using my fingers, so we are getting the absolute most amount of coverage. There definitely is an audience for this. Probably not me. I do like the finish that it left my skin with. It just looks really healthy and hydrated, but there is no tint to that, which is fine. Not for me though. So this one is a pass for me. There is some pros. Like, I really do like the way it almost worked like skincare for me. It made my skin look nice and glowy and hydrated. But in terms of coverage, which is what I look for, not for me. I think it's great for like middle school age girls, or if you just are blessed with amazing skin. I don't know. Tinted water, but hardly even tinted. So that's that on that. But I knew I had to try the stretch concealer. This one was recommended by so many of you guys. So this was also along with the Futuredew. Had to get this. So it comes in a little pot like this. By the way, I picked up the shade G10 in the Perfecting Skin Tint. Doesn't matter which shade you get, I got to say. And I got the matching G10 in the stretch concealer. I'm just gonna use my finger to get in there. And I'm gonna focus it. I'm trying to do this the Glossier way, you know, the way the products were intended to be used. This is made in Canada, by the way. And then the skin tint was made in Italy. Ooh, this is so pretty. The finish of these, I've got to say, they give such a healthy finish to the skin. You know, I don't look overly oily. And this is obviously a very natural concealer, but it looks hydrated, it looks lightweight, and you can see from this eye to, or from this eye to this eye, it did improve the look. Got rid of a little bit of the darkness. If you have really dark under eyes that you're trying to cover, this is not the brand or the product for you at all, but it just kind of subtly reduces it. This is the key to no makeup makeup, honestly, the perfect brand for you if that's what you're into. I'm just trying to put a little additional coverage on my areas that need it. Like, you see this? I feel like if I pack it on, I mean, it doesn't give full coverage, but it definitely helps. I just love how easy this is to blend and the finish of it. I actually really like this concealer. Definitely for that no makeup makeup day. It reminds me a lot of the new Tom Ford Soft Matte Concealer and how it provides a lighter coverage, but it has a really hydrated look. I would say this one has less coverage than the Tom Ford, but this is also a lot cheaper than the Tom Ford. I'm going to put a little extra coverage right here on my nose. Yeah, the way so far that their products are working, they have a special finish to them that is really natural, hydrated, and healthy that a lot of brands I feel like don't do as good of a job of. So for me, with my preferences, what they lack in coverage, the finish is so healthy looking. And then I'm going to use the Cloud Paint, which is also one of their most popular products. I picked up the shade Beam. Like I said, I did have a bronzer product, but it didn't end up in my bag, so sorry about that. But I thought the colors of that looked a little odd. But we're just gonna go in with this Cloud Paint product. I'm pretty sure this is the first thing that I ever heard about Glossier for. So I've always known about the Cloud Paint, so I was pumped to try this, and I thought this peachy color would be pretty. So I'm just warming it up on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna use my finger to push it in. I'm an anti-finger person when it comes to makeup, but I'm not gonna lie, the Glossier products really do well with fingers. They kind of work themselves out, partially because they're so sheer. But isn't that pretty? I like that. It's not super pigmented. They have some deeper shades that definitely have more pigment that I messed with in store that I was pretty impressed with. But this for my skin tone is really nice and natural. Got a lot of peach on my face now. But okay, that's nice. I like it. I like how seamless it blends in with the foundation. Well, skin tint. I'd be curious though to see how this works on a foundation that has more coverage, if the foundation would eat the color away. But since I don't have much color on my face for the cloud paint to mix into or hide behind, it does give that pretty flushed look to the skin. Again, it has that really pretty finish that I'm noticing with all of these Glossier products. So that's it for cream products on the face. I did pick up their powder. This is the Wowder, a weightless finishing powder. I live in Miami. I have to have powder, so we are gonna put this on. I got the shade G8 to G10, so it's for a range of a lot of skin tones. It has this mesh here. I'm just going to use this in my T-zone on the under eyes. What do you think from side to side? This actually, I don't know if you can tell, it really blurred the skin pretty nice. I really do want to test this also with a full coverage foundation to see how this works, but this powder is working pretty seamlessly with the other Glossier products, which is how these were formulated, I imagine, to work pretty well with the Glossier products. But this is getting rid of that extra dew that my skin had and kind of setting it down, and I think it did add a really pretty blur to the skin. Okay, eyebrows. I picked up, I really was interested in the brow flick and of course the boy brow. The boy brow goes in hand with popularity in my eyes as the cloud paint. So this brow flick, I don't normally use products like this. I got it in the shade brown. It gives a really light amount of color, look. Hardly any, so let's see how that does for me. I'm gonna use a spoolie to brush my eyebrow hairs up. Okay, let's see. And she said just draw the hair light strokes. This is pretty natural. It doesn't apply too much color, which I really like. Because see, it's not too overpowering. I've had some pens in the past where they just were too liquidy and it looked way too unnatural. This one is good because it looks very natural for being a marker. I'm going to brush my brow hairs down because I want to fill in right here, which is pretty sparse for me. Okay, so in terms of brow markers, I haven't used very many, but of the ones that I have used, this was probably my favorite. It's the easiest to use. It's not too overpowering on my brows. It's great for a more natural fill. Now, I don't think it gives me my favorite brow look because it's almost too natural, but it's very easy to control. And now we're gonna set with the boy brow. I decided to get the clear shade since I like to fill in my eyebrows. Don't typically love a tinted brow gel. So let's see what this guy does. I feel like Glossier was one of the first brands to really popularize the feather brow and really go with it. So I'm expecting this product to do just that and give it to me. I spent so long not using this brand because I thought I was too old and not cool enough. Which I still felt that way in the store, FYI. It doesn't harden the brows or make them too heavy, which could be a good thing for you. For me, I like them to be hard and heavy, honestly, to get that strong hold. Feels like it's a little bit of a lighter hold. I'm gonna let this set to see if this hardens down. I like the way it separated my brows. I think it gave my brows a fullness that it didn't have prior, but it doesn't seem to be giving me a hold or a lift. So I'm gonna say this definitely does not replace my Too Faced, but it definitely gave, I feel like, some volume to the brows, which is very interesting that it did that, right? They look thicker, they look hairier, like a boy brow. It does what it says, that's for sure, certain. Now for the eyes, I picked up an eyeshadow palette. I remember talking crap about these when they first launched because they looked like the most uninteresting things. Something about it being in store really attracted me and they felt really beautiful. So I ended up picking up the shade Almond. It's just a really safe neutral color made in Canada. Let's see. Here's what it looks like. Isn't that beautiful? So just a really great everyday color. Honestly, there were a few colors that I thought looked really nice. Let's see. I'm going to take a little bit more of the concealer and put it on my eyelid to give the eyeshadow something to grab onto. So I will say, even though I was never attracted to the eyeshadow palettes. They looked so much better in person. So we're gonna start off, obviously, with the matte shade. Now you have to be careful with the shade that you pick up because I felt like some of them that I swatched were pretty light, and if you didn't have a lighter skin tone, they would just wash away when they touch your skin. And even on my skin tone, I felt like some of them would do that, so just be careful. I'm just gonna put a little bit down here. It's blending out really nice, but this one also is pretty sheer, but very easy to use. I just feel like Glossier is so good for like a teenager in high school or middle school as one of the first makeup brands that they use. It's very appropriate for that younger crowd. Or of course somebody that just likes the no makeup, of course. There is no age limit. But like if I had a daughter and she wanted to start wearing makeup, definitely start off at Glossier because it's better quality, better ingredients, very easy to use for a beginner. Okay, and then there's two different shimmers. So one is a little bit more of like a satiny shimmer, and this one has more like glimmers. So I'm going to start off with the more satiny shade, and I'm just going to apply it. This has a good amount of pigment to it. It feels pretty high quality, I'm not going to lie. That's pretty. And then on the other eye, I'm going to see how the extra shade looks. Oh yeah, this is stunning. Yeah, I much prefer that shade. I'm just going to put it over top of the other eye. But yeah, you can get a super easy, pretty look with these. And they still definitely feel high quality. I just think be careful what shade you get because some of them are pretty light, and that is the aesthetic of Glossier, but just be careful so that you don't waste your money on a shade that's like not even going to show up on you. But overall, this is a pretty eye look. And then I also got their liquid liner. The employee said this was pretty well loved. So this is the Pro Tip Brush Point Liquid Eyeliner. Made in France, and the pen looked really nice and sharp, but when I swatched it, it wasn't that black, so hopefully it translates to the eyes better. Very, very precise. And when I swatched it, I felt like it wasn't black enough, but I feel like it's doing just fine, so it applied better than it swatched. And because the tip is so precise, look how thin of a line I was able to get. Okay, I actually really like this eyeliner. I'll see how long it wears because that's kind of the real test of eyeliners, but I like the application. Super precise. I'm going to throw on the Lash Slick Mascara from Glossier. Now, this is the only product from Glossier that I tried before. I got it in a BoxyCharm or an Ipsy, I believe, and it's a good mascara. It definitely gives a natural look, but it doesn't overbuild. It makes the lashes really soft. I'll show you. So, I don't really go for this mascara because I like something that's going to make my lashes look thicker, but it's just a nice natural mascara. I like it, don't love it though. See what I mean? Just a really natural, soft lash look. Now the final category we have is lips. I skipped out on the lip glosses. I just didn't think I would use those. But I picked up two different formulas of lipsticks. We have the sheer matte lipstick. And then I also picked up a ultra shine, like hydrating one. So let's take a look first at the Generation Sheer Matte. This is the shade Cake. Let me show you how it looks. It's still sheer, because see how, I feel like it looks darker in the tube. It has kind of a powdery scent to it. A little floral, actually. Like, it's just a natural color, a little warm. It goes really good with the other products that I have on from Glossier right now. Probably not a go-to formula for me. Feels like it's going to last a long time though. I think I'm more excited about the Ultra Lip formulation. So this one I got in a pinky shade. It's called Villa. This one I'm going to feel like is more up my alley. Yeah, it's pretty. It's fine, sheer, gives a pretty glow. I would say, like, looking, I wouldn't say Glossier has these standout lip products, but this is very pretty, and I really do feel like I have a Glossier style makeup look, and it looks really good. I love coverage. I love bold makeup. I don't need to have natural makeup. I like neutral makeup, but not natural. I feel very natural and pretty. And by the way, yeah, this brow gel continues to make my brows feel really soft. Doesn't give me lift and hold that I looked for, but definitely gives volume, which is pretty hard to do, so I still like it. Okay, let me pull myself together. So final thoughts with Glossier. Honestly, I ended up liking these products a lot more than I thought it was going to. I can tell the quality in these products. The ingredients are really, really nice. It's not my style of makeup. Glossier is not going to become one of my favorite brands, but I think with what they did a good job, especially with who their target audience is and what the products are meant to do. I really like, but here are products for me that I would say are worth it. Even though I have my style of makeup that I like that's different from this, I still really like these products. Like the Stretch Concealer, so lovely. Hydrating. It is a lighter coverage, but the finish is so pretty. I don't mind. I actually, so far, I'll have to see how this works over like a darker eyeshadow, but I was pretty impressed with the eyeliner. I grabbed the wrong one, the Pro Tip eyeliner, but I really, really like this. I can see myself incorporating both of these into my everyday makeup routine. But also what was really, really nice, oh, I also would integrate the cloud paint into my everyday makeup routine. So those three are the ones that I was like, wow, I'm gonna have to use these more. Now, in terms of all the other products, the Futuredew seems really, really nice. I'm gonna continue to use it to see how makeup holds over it, but I liked it. The biggest pass for me is the Perfecting Skin Tint. I just feel like you're paying a lot for the little work that this does, but there is an audience for it. I told you, teenagers, this is perfect, or if you just really hate the look of makeup, this is perfect for you. For me, I don't see myself really ever reaching for that too often. And I thought the brow products were really nice. It's not my style of brow, but the Brow Flake, this is probably the best brow marker I've ever used. I just don't really like brow markers though. And the Bowie Brow did a great job for thickness, but I like a little bit more hold. The eyeshadow, I liked it more than I thought I would, but am I reaching for this over my favorite eyeshadow palettes? No. Probably wouldn't purchase another one. And then the lipsticks, I will say, were bleh to me. They're fine, but I have so many others. I feel like you can probably get better or the same formulas from the drugstore. So these also didn't really stand out to me. I would say these are kind of like bottom three, and then the rest I think are pretty good. So that's my first impressions of Glossier. I will continue to test these. So if you're curious about how I feel about these when I integrate them more into my everyday makeup routine and pair them with different products, make sure you're subscribed because I will be featuring all of these products in a speed reviews. If there's anything that I missed out from Glossier that I absolutely have to try, comment it down below. I might head back anyways to see if I can get the bronzer product, so let me know what else I need to try. But overall, I think the brand really did a good job with the products that they created. I don't have too much bad to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.